I haven't said anything yet, so I don't know why you're applauding. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I first want to thank everybody for being here. I know it's not difficult to entice people to the beauty of Sedona, but thank you anyway for being here. Most especially, I want to thank the staff and leaders who poured their hearts and souls into making this weekend the incredible experience that it is. Thank you. I will also open with an apology, as I might take slightly longer than we usually do, because I'm overjoyed to be standing here. It's my distinct honor and pleasure to give this award to a man that I am lucky to call a friend and who is a friend of my father's. But to animate the 2025 In the Arena Award, to make it real for you, I want to read the actual quote from Theodore Roosevelt that inspired it and imbues it with its meaning. A quote that every midshipman at the Naval Academy, myself included, is required to memorize word for word. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be known among those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Daring, dignified, dedicated, dauntless. Few words or quotes describe Michael Bidwill better. He is a servant of his community, of his state, and of his nation. To stand here and list his accomplishments would actually take more time than we have this evening, and we do have a program to get to. So I will at least list the most pertinent. He began his career serving his nation as a federal prosecutor, a fact that he wields very rarely and very humbly. He demonstrated character and compassionate leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires, one of the most devastating natural disasters of our time, by opening his stadium to a rival team, the LA Rams, holding their wild card game and making sure that they felt at home during a time of such challenge for their community. The Cardinals organization also transported Rams players, coaches, and staff and family on their own aircraft. They painted their own field blue and yellow and even retrofitted the team's store with Rams merchandise. This latest act of generosity is only a small facet of the constant support for military veterans, youth programs, economic development, civil society, and only solidifies the organization's role as a pillar of the Arizona community and Michael's standing as one of the most influential leaders in our state. And I finish with, Michael would also likely cite as his proudest accomplishment being a champion of civic education in schools. He started the Civic Matters initiative in 2022, which sends school-age children to Washington, D.C. to see government in action. But best of all, he's a helicopter pilot. Michael, your leadership, impact, and service are truly commendable, and I am beyond proud to present you with the 2025 In the Arena Award. Please join me on stage.
Thank you, Jack. What an amazing, amazing honor. And this is so meaningful to me for a couple of reasons. One, because the McCain family, and it starts with Senator John McCain, who did so much for our country, so much for our state, and so much for our world. He was not just Arizona's senator. he was the world senator, and we miss him so much. It's been since 2018 since we had his voice, but God, do we need it right now. Cindy McCain, Ambassador Cindy McCain, it means so much to me because of you, because of Jack, because of Jimmy, because of the entire family. I don't know of a family in Arizona that has been more about public service and commitment to our country with their personal, it's their lives. They've dedicated their lives. And I just, to get this award from the McCain family and the McCain Institute is just humbling. So thank you so much, because your family has done so much for our country, and it's all of you, and we so much appreciate you. The second thing is because that speech is really important to me. I actually have a copy of it hanging on my wall at my home. And it's an inspiration. And it's an inspiration for a bunch of reasons, because those of us, and we're in a room filled with people who are also men and women in the arena, and you're out there doing great things. And it is, as Jack read, this is a speech that was written over a century ago. It was written in 1910, but it was perfect to describe what John McCain was about. It was perfect to describe what Dikembe Mutombo was about. It was perfect to describe. I'm just blessed and honored to be named with some of these other leaders that have received this. And so, to me, I think those women and men that do this, and you all know because you're leaders in your industry, and in sports, I can assure you, there are just as many critics and TV channels and blogs and everything else that tell us everything we do wrong, and rarely tell you what you do right. And we have a target on our back oftentimes. And so you feel it, but you appreciate it on nights like tonight. But I think this speech was written by Teddy Roosevelt, but it speaks to John McCain too. That Rams game, it was the right thing to do. I had no idea. An NFL playoff game had never been moved before. We moved it in 4 days, sold it out. We had to ship in the paint because the Rams field in L.A. is AstroTurf. It's artificial turf. Nobody had paint in Arizona that was blue and yellow. And I can tell you, even though it was the right thing to do, it was a little painful to see our field getting painted blue and yellow. So, we had so many dozens and hundreds of people in our organization. I gave them the direction, like, let's think ahead. Let's make sure we can think ahead of every challenge we have. We had so many people solving problems. And so for that, I am so thankful for all those people, and then the thousands of people that were there working on game day to make that a great game. You wouldn't have known it had been pulled together in 4 days. One of the things I'm most proud about, Jack talked about it, civics. We need civics today more than ever. I watched the halftime show. I didn't know what was going on, okay? What's going on? The whole dispute between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? No clue. But the younger generations do. And the problem is they know more about that than what civics is all about in our country. And we got to do something about that, because civics, the arts, music, all those things have been taken out of our school curriculum, and we need to get back in. The champion for that was actually, there are a couple of people. Number one was Sandra Day O'Connor, who was from Arizona. All right? First woman Supreme Court justice in the world. And when she retired from the Supreme Court, she made it her mission to really push on civics. She went to Governor Doug Ducey, and Doug Ducey in 2014, I've got this right, the first bill that he introduced was the American Civics Act, which Arizona was the first state to pass it, to put civics back into high schools. And it passed bipartisan. By almost every legislator voted for it. And it was on his desk within days of when he was sworn in and the legislature was underway. We realized in his last term that there wasn't we had a statewide spelling bee here, but not a statewide civics competition. So we decided, the Cardinals decided, I called Governor Ducey and I said, hey, if we put together this competition, we're going to focus on Title I schools, kids that don't have an opportunity, but we can lift them up. We'll have an essay contest. We'll put them on our team plane, and we're going to fly them to Washington, D.C. for an all-expense 4-day, 3-night trip to D.C. And thank you, Governor, for leading the way. Governor Hobbs picked up the mantle after that, and we've been working with her since then. And it's an amazing trip. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that most of the kids on this airplane each year, this is the first time they've been on an airplane. We get questions from the moms like, what is a carry-on bag? You know, it's pretty revealing. So when these kids go, it's like an 8th grade dance. They're all standing on each side of but after the first night, we've got them, and we've got members of our delegation as well as others this year that are great about giving their time. So thank you, Senator Sinema. Thank you, Senator Kelly. Juan Ciscomani's been a speaker. We've got many others that have been a part of it, and it changes these kids' lives, and we've got to do this. What I think the common denominator of one of the things I've heard throughout this conference is it's about we need to raise good citizens in the future. We don't need them all to run for office. We need engaged citizens that are making sure our schools are good, making sure that our country is that competitive country that we all grew up in, and that we've got that competitive economy, that we bring that American competitiveness to everything we do. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. We're passionate about the military. We're passionate about special needs. That'll be something we're launching this year. The Cardinals are launching a whole fundraiser around special needs. If it's like cancer, if you're not touched by somebody in your family who's touched by special needs, you know somebody and love somebody very well who is in their family. And so we want to lead the way. One of the great honors I had was in 2018 when Cindy called me and asked me. She said, "John would like to see you. Would you come up to the cabin?" And I came up, and she gave us some time alone. And he told me, he's like, "You've got to use your platform for good. You can do more, and I want you to do more." That was really important to me. I press you guys now. There are a lot of people in here with platforms, and you're doing great things, but we can all do more. Our country needs us. The world needs us. Freedom, human rights, so many things are so necessary. We can get it done, and we've got to continue working at it. How are we going to do that? It's going to be the individual efforts, but what we're bringing home here soon is thanks to Dr. Michael Crow and ASU, he has found a home for the new McCain Library, which is going to be built right here in Arizona, in Tempe, Arizona, which is the center of the greater Phoenix area. And it's going to be opening hopefully very soon. There are diagrams and all sorts of information in the Juniper Room, which is just out here. I'd encourage everyone to take a look at it, because this is the way we're going to continue to use John's voice through the programming, the AI, where we can have John come back through artificial intelligence, use his speeches and his words, and have him on a worldwide basis through the internet and everything else, but also a physical building here. So I'd encourage everybody to get involved in this McCain Library. We're going to be out there friend-raising and fundraising, and it's going to be exciting to do, and I can't wait to get it done and get this thing open, because we're going to bring back all of that. That education's ongoing, but we're going to supersize it at that point when we get the library going. So thank you all. Again, I just close. I'm so honored, and everybody that represents our organization that does all these great things with me and is passionate about it as well. I accept this great award on behalf of them as well, and I really do appreciate it. It's such an honor. Thank you so much, McCain Institute.